Lord, grant me the serenity to understand the things I cannot change. Grant me the courage to change the things that I can. And grant me the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today. Amen. Away from me.
You close to the edge, just don't move. My brother said his lawyer just gave him some bad news. Police found the drugs that were stashed in the bathroom. Not only that, but his court date approaching us fast too. So tell me what to do. Lord, you only seek the truth. If you want to bear fruit, then it needs to abide in you. If you seek transformation, it happens in solitude. Since I never had a shot, God threw me the alley-oop. I believe I can fly. Let me mingle with the angels. Heaven's in my peripheral, I see it from an angle.
What's up, good people? Welcome to the Bro Code Show. It's your boy, Bro Troy, Mr. Y4C, but better known as Coach TJ. Now, today's show is sponsored by Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza. Make sure to visit your local Papa Murphy's Pizza retail store near you and load up on fresh, made-to-order, gluten-free take and bake pizzas, desserts, and salads. Make sure to use that mobile app for faster service and to earn additional savings. Now, for those who are new to the Bro Code Show, the Bro Code Show is a live talk show created to discuss, uncover, justify, and dismantle the issues that concern us most as brothers, as family, and as a community. And as you know, we like to give that to you raw, uncut, and real respectful. Now, our greatest desire is to embrace everyone in positive, popular conversations. So no, we're not in the business of bashing or belittling anyone, but we do believe in being comfortable with having uncomfortable conversations. Why? Because that's where understanding starts. So as Grandma would say, let's chew the meat and spit out the bone. Real quick, housekeeping rules. Please go to YouTube right now, the Bro Code TV right now, and hit the subscribe button. So that way when we go live, you'll know it, and you can keep up with these courageous conversations. Also, go to our Instagram page, @BroCodeShow right now. Again, keep up with these courageous conversations, see the snippets, even the outbreaks. What do you call that? The mess up? Outtakes. Yeah, see some outtakes, some bloopers, all that good stuff, man. Keep up with the bros, man. We definitely want to hear the topics of conversations or people that you would love to have us come interview. So hit us up right now on @BroCodeShow. So fellas, man, it's been a productive week, man. Like, you know, the last couple of days, man, have definitely been like bam. So, man, how you guys feeling, man? Talk to me, Bro Smith.
I'm just trying to keep up, man. I'm just trying to keep up between golf, the football event. My NC State Wolfpack lost a tough one against Wake Forest. That's still sitting heavy on me, but it's been a good week all around, and getting a chance to meet the police chief. I've been connected with the program. It's been fulfilling.
Absolutely, man. What you think, Bro Kirk?
Same thing. So seriously, though, meeting Chief Patterson. You know, sometimes people in those positions just kind of come for a few minutes. She wasn't there for a few minutes, man. And you were standing right there. She was asking in-depth conversations about the kids in the neighborhood and the community. So
and was really engaged, right?
Yes.
You know, we talk about having a spirit of compassion and love for people. She reminded me of Auntie. Like I felt like I was chilling with Auntie. She just happened to have a suit on, badge, but very well represented. You know, it was an honor. And I'm also not going to glance over. You know, I'm not a Panthers fan. You know, I am from the A. However, we had these balls, not just any ball, man. This football, excuse me, pause. But this football was a Duke football. And when I say Duke football, we're not talking about the blue. That's the Duke, right? Like these footballs alone, and this particular football goes for almost $120 just for the ball, right? Just the particular ball it was. But this particular Duke football that would go for $120 had a particular signature on it, and happened to be the running back for the Carolina Panthers, Christian McCaffrey. You know, and Chief, not just her time, not just the engagement, but as a gift, as an acknowledgement for some of the hard work and dedication that the kids that are part of the Y4C football program for the last 6 months at the Southeast Raleigh YMCA in Raleigh, North Carolina, showed, you know, as a sense of celebration and a reward. So shout out to the Raleigh Police Department, shout out to Chief Patterson, much respect, salute. So absolutely, shout out to the Panthers, man. YM4C needs to be on the 50-yard line. Right here, we're speaking that one into existence with 20 of our underserved youth that we serve right here in Raleigh, North Carolina through our mentoring program. So nonetheless, fellas, greatness never happens alone. So we got a special guest tonight, man. JC, what you got? Bro Smith, what you got, brother?
No, man, I'm excited. You know, we get a chance to chop it up with a man who goes by a number of different names. You know, Emmanuel Chapman, Poobie, Big Cheese. You know, I've heard a number. Mr. 610. I think we could put that tag on you now.
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer. You know, this month we've been really chopping up with a number of individuals who are connected to the community in a lot of different ways, big on entrepreneurship, are starting different endeavors, which is kind of how we got to the table ourselves, as we get a chance to sit at the table with you. I got turned on to you back in 2020. I know you've been doing your thing back at Central and Enloe High, back at Enloe. We'll get into all of that. But I got turned on to you in 2020 when you were on the news doing a number of different things in the community, but more specifically out in the streets protesting after the death of George Floyd. That's around the same time that we were starting to really figure out our way with the introduction of this show, where we had topics discussing the talk, getting a chance to talk with the police community about what their experience has been like. And I noticed you started a number of different initiatives, getting people from John Wall to TJ Warren to give back to the community, starting your own thing. So all in all, my question to you is, who are you at the core? And how did you get all of these nicknames? And how would you describe how you move and serve in the community?
First of all, thank y'all for that introduction. That intro is big time. I appreciate that. But I'll say the core of me, who I am, to the core of me is I'm a fan of people, of things, of ideas. I'm just a fan. I think that speaks to the table and where we are now, which is partly the reason of like what it means. Is like, I feel like everybody brings something to the table. Everybody, no matter who you are, where you're from, what you do, you bring something to the table. You know what I mean? So like, I think that comes from me being a fan. Literally just me looking at people and like, yo, you're a dope writer. Like you write really well. Like, how could you expand that? You're a dope, whatever it is that someone does, I'm a fan. You're a great barber. Dag, I think that's dope. I don't undermine or see anything less of what someone does, except for like, I see you at the highest power. So that's where the table comes from. I think that's who I am to the core of me. Like I don't want to say I see the best in people, because I think that would be cheesy, but I'm just a fan of people. And that in turn makes me confident in myself, because I know I bring something to the table, and sometimes I might bring the table. But the nicknames, I think I only have one nickname, and that's Big Cheese. I think Big Cheese is my only nickname. Poobie is my name. That's my name. When I walked across the stage to graduate college, they said Poobie. You know what I mean? So that's
Did they write it on the diploma?
Nah, the diploma said okay. But that's the next step. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, either way, I'm Emmanuel Chapman III. I'm named after my father, and his name is Poobie as well. So I was Lil Poobie, and after so long, my dad was like a basketball player. He was a prominent member of this community. He's from New Jersey, from this community. Like I grew up literally right out the back door of this the table. I grew up over here, like really out the back door. And after so long of being Little Poobie to all of the cool people, when I was able to be in elementary school, middle school with my friends, just take the little off, and I just Poobie, and just being little something for so long up under my father, that's where the big came from. Where I'm like, okay, like I don't call anybody little anything. I don't call anybody little bro, little nothing. Everybody's big, everybody's, you know what I mean? So that's where the Big Cheese came from for me. Aside from the smile, the cheese came from the smile.
Okay.
Like, literally, that's where it came from. Like my friends call me cheeseburger, cheese fries, cheese, whatever, it comes from the smile. It just, it's like an alter ego where like I'm in my space, like I'm in my confident space. Like I actually don't like my smile at all. So like it's there though. If I'm happy, you're gonna see all 29 of my teeth. So it's just something that like it was there, and I kind of adopted it. That's where that comes from.
I mentioned Jersey, you're number Troy, myself, New Jersey. What
East Orange. East Orange, yeah.
New Brunswick.
East Orange, yeah. East Orange, 48 Shepherd Ave. 48 Shepherd Ave, yeah.
I stayed right off of South Orange on Elliott Place.
Okay, yeah. So I was up there. My dad is from New Jersey. My mom's from Washington, D.C. So either summertime and holidays, we was on the road. I was somewhere for the holidays and for summertime. So I think that also helped shape me into like not being strictly and molded in the South, but the South is
And so how does all of that, your background, your upbringing, how does that impact what you're doing in the community?
That's a great question. I think it's more so everything that I've been a part of. I wanted to make sure that when I leave it, when I'm gone, when I'm done with it, it's better than when I found it. Yeah. Literally. So like I was speaking with Kirk off camera, but like I think me looking back at Enloe High School and not being all the way pleased with the way that the program looked made me want to throw myself in there. I think so often we as people are talking about what other people should do, other people could do. Okay, if I was this, I would do this. If I was that, or they should do. And I think that is what came from the George Floyd protest for me, just to spin back to that, where we was out there and we was protesting and I was enjoying it, and then I became angry. And I think everybody became angry. We were angry anyway, but the rage was like, whoa, I'm not an angry person. And I felt myself have some type of rage, and I had to step back and think like, what can we get out of this? Like, we can come together and protest, but can we come together in celebration? So that's where Soul Food came from. It's an event that I throw for Juneteenth, and that's really what it is. Like, I think a lot of the ideas and a lot of the community work that I do, it comes from being ground zero. Like, I'm here, I'm going in the streets that I want to serve, so I'm not serving from, or I'm not helping from a place of like looking on the outside and saying like, oh, they need this, and it's not something that we need. I'd rather be in it, talking to the kids, talking to the elders, talking to my peers, and feeling like, okay, I feel like there was a void in the celebration of black people, of black men, of black women, of black children. And I thought Juneteenth, the perfect opportunity for us to celebrate. And I think that was something that spun from it. But again, to touch back on your question, I think the idea of it is to serve the things that I've come in contact with. I want to make sure that everything that I've come in contact with is complete to what I want, not to like what it may seem or to how anybody else thinks about it. It's like, okay, when I feel like I fulfilled this portion of it, then I'm ready to move on, and I'm willing to help. But I think because of the community I grew up in, unfortunately, those things haven't always been up to par. So, I wanted to make sure that when I'm done with it, it's at least up to my standard, and then hopefully it's somebody that comes after me that takes it to another level.
Good stuff. What you got, bro, Kirk?
So speaking of the boys club, I saw some footage from there. I grew up playing in the boys club. It was a place where I really fell in love with everything basketball. And I see you smiling, so I know you know what it is. Speak a little bit about that and maybe some of the friendships that were made from there that probably still exist today.
Absolutely. Everybody that you named, me and John, best friends. We became best friends at 5 years old.
Shout out to John Wall.
Shout out my brother.
Need you on the bro code.
Yeah, bro, for sure. We're going to call you out later. But shout out my brother. That became my brother inside those doors. Brandon Banks, he's another one. I can name 1,000 people. But I think the thing about the Raleigh, the reason that it made me smile is because, like, I think it helped me at the thing that I think I do best, and that's like manage people and manage personalities and manage character, because like, it's 3-4 counselors in there max, and it's hundreds of kids. So more often than not, we got to settle our own problems. We got to figure it out. We got to actively problem solve. And I think that's why it's easier for me to kind of maneuver through situations that maybe I shouldn't be accustomed to. But I think that fellowship at a young age encourages me to continue to bring fellowship as a peer. Like, we spend a lot of time with other young boys and friendships and companionships, and learn who to trust and how to do this and what to look for. I think those things need to be actively practiced for your entire life.
So I love what you said about managing the crowd, those kids. And that lends into you being a great point guard, because we all know that a point guard is a coach on the floor. And so being a number one assist leader, second in steals, just knowing that it probably started way back then with the way you manage people.
Absolutely.
And so seeing that, and shout out to that, because that's a big deal.
And I appreciate that stat drop right there.
I want to put some respect on his name.
You know what I mean? Second and steal. That one kind of gets.
And they look overlooked there.
You know what I mean? That kind of gets swept up under there.
That's extra points.
That's good. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah, nah, for sure.
I think that when we talk about you in basketball, and I want to say this, I'm from Michigan, moved to Raleigh in 2009. Me and my son would watch Duke, UNC basketball, and it was like it wasn't a real place. I mean that, like, that's not real. And then we moved down here, man, and just seeing the rich history. Other than maybe LA, Detroit, or Chicago, or New York, Raleigh has produced, bro, for people not to know, like going to the summer league across the street, going to the summer league in Durham, going over to Garner Road and seeing those runs, Roberts Park, right? I don't think there's a better. I think it's top 8 in the country for basketball. Speak to that.
And I think the thing that also gets overlooked or not really understood is that everybody from Raleigh that's made it to that level, we all know each other. It's not like you from New York and it's another guy that you like, oh man. Everybody that's from Raleigh that made it to a high level, we all know each other.
And now we know each other, because I saw them all at Soul Food.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, like they're next to you.
Absolutely.
Right? So we all not only know each other, y'all rock with each other. So.
Absolutely, for sure. And I think that speaks to the younger generation too, because I think I'll speak. Of course, it was some older guys that made it to the highest level, but I'll say from what I can remember, PJ, and he was the first. And I can remember vividly PJ pulling up to the summer league and whatever the best car was, literally pulling up to the summer league. He didn't have to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I got a picture, me being the kid that I am and seeing him like coming back here, I know it's in my subconscious. I know it is. Because it's like, I want the kids and the people that come after me to know like, man, you can do it from here. Yeah. Like that's my biggest thing, that this is a destination. We talked about this before. Like, I want every place that may represent poverty, may represent hopelessness. I want that to be the destination.
Yeah. And that's really good.
And not in its current state of hopelessness and poverty and a impoverished place, but what we're going to invest in it, and what not just money and time, but in our spirits, our soul, everything that we want, we're going to invest in it so that place becomes a viable destination for somebody.
Shout out to PJ. World champion.
For sure.
World champion.
I know you down there in Miami. Come back home to Raleigh. Shout out to the Bro Code Show. Need you on the show.
For sure.
But you said a word that resonates with us a whole lot, man, and it's hope, right? And as adults and as children, is one of the things that we're missing. So if you're just checking in with the Bro Code Show, we're hollering to big homie, government, Emmanuel Poobie Chapman III.
This show is sponsored by Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza. Make sure to visit your local Papa Murphy's Pizza retail store near you and load up on fresh, made-to-order, gluten-free take and bake pizzas, desserts, and salads. Now make sure to use that mobile app for faster and to earn additional savings.
Welcome back to the Bro Code Show. It's your boy, Bro Troy, a.k.a. Mr. Y4C, but better known as Coach TJ. And we're chilling on the couch, or really on the stools, with my man, Emmanuel Poobie Chapman. So we talked about a lot. We talked about passion. We talked about purpose. We talked about the big cheese and how that came about, man. And really wanted to know a little bit more. So as we get into this conversation, we got to shout out our sponsors, man. Shout out to Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza. Make sure to visit your local Papa Murphy's Pizza retail store near you and load up on fresh, made-to-order, gluten-free take and bake pizzas, desserts, and salads. Even use that mobile app for faster service and to earn additional savings. Kurt, what you got, bro?
So we've talked about a lot of things, but we really want to go back to talking about Enloe. Talk to us about this. You're leaning in on your 4th year, correct? Talk to us a little about the journey, about how you're feeling about this season compared to maybe some of the others.
I think this one is important to me because, again, it's 4 years. So it's kind of, it's like that rookie or freshman, sophomore, junior, I'm going through that myself. And I think this year means a lot, and it's been a lot more efficient and effective for me because I've been able to have them for a whole off-season, preseason. I've had my hands on them the whole year. I have guys that I've coached for 4 years now, and they're going into their senior year with an identity of being around me for 4 years. It's different when, I'm a first year, second year guy, and it's only so much that hands-on can do right in the moment. It's a lot of residual things that has to come in basketball and life and coaching and playing that something I told them 3 years ago, I don't have to tell them now, but when it happens in a game where they have to result or they have to use that type of knowledge, it hits different. You know what I mean? It's a little bit different. I think we have a chance.
I don't want to gloss over something I saw, and it hit me as a mentor. You mentioned, somebody asked you about your record and how well you were going to do, and you said, hey, it's more important for how these young men become men. And I looked at that and I said, see, that's what I'm talking about, because everybody's not going to the NBA, right? Everybody's not going to go play Division I basketball or basketball at all. So how they show up as men really does start in high school. So speak to that.
And I think also, even if you do go on to become an NBA basketball player, you as a man is what I think gets judged first. It doesn't matter how many championships you have. It doesn't matter how many points you scored. If you have a mental lapse, if you make a grave mistake, you're going to get judged as a man, as opposed to being judged as how well you play basketball. So I think even the best basketball player ever, if they make a mistake as a man, the first thing someone will speak of is you as a man, and then, he did play basketball, you know what I mean? So I think that's what I've learned from the outside looking in, because like I said, John Wall, that's my brother, that's my best friend, and he's one of the most talented people still to this day that I've ever seen, and I think he's not getting a fair shot, not because of his talent, because he's still top 10 in the league if he was playing, but I think they're judging him more so off the things that happens off the court. So I think that, along with just me maturing and becoming, older, as my life has been all about basketball for forever. My whole entire life has been about basketball. Right. But I like to think of this year, not to make it about me, but I think this year for me has been a trifecta. I think I've had a really, really, really impressive basketball moment, which is the Hall of Fame. I think I've had a really good business moment, which is, opening and developing the table as a young businessman. And I've had a great cultural moment with the Juneteenth event at Soul Food. And I think those are three things that I spent a lot of time planning and orchestrating and hoping that those things work. Yeah. And this year, all three of those things have come together. And then you look at the most important, which you just talked about, is me being a coach or a mentor, investing in young men. And I think that's the one thing that's been a constant since the year started. I haven't been able to take my fingerprint or my thumb off of these kids in this program. And I think it's important because I think very often as a young man, I think people deal with you in seasons. You in school right now, so your teacher is the person that's going to teach you. But then as soon as summer is over, now you get your summer camp teacher. You know what I mean? So I think, and I want to applaud you guys for being a mentor. I understand how many hours that takes, and it's not just I get some time off. I'm gonna deal with y'all for 2 weeks, and then I see y'all. It's just like being a father, just like being a parent. It's an all the time job, and I think. That's something that I've worked on. I've been more diligent on in terms of making sure that I've been around them and talking to them. Even if we're not in the gym putting up shots, I'm gonna send them a clip. Hey, do you see this? You see this back screen? Forget the dunk and the alley-oop. That's nice, but you see the back screen. Then aside from that, I have a lot of guys that I want to develop into leaders. Everybody's a leader, whether you like it or not. You're gonna lead somebody at some point. So if you don't actively practice that in everything, when it's your time to lead, it's not going to be the best. So if you practice, the more and more you practice it, it'll become second nature. And I think that's a thing that I see with this team that I'm that's the thing that impresses me the most, is that we don't have one guy that when he says go, we're going to go. everybody's gonna be like, all right, well, hold on, we should go a little slower. We're gonna go, but let's go a little slower. All right, no, we should go this way. Like everybody has their hand in where the ship is going. Yeah. And that's the thing that I admire the most. I'll put them in positions to lead themselves. Like I'm gonna be here, but if I'm not here, are you guys gonna be able to lead yourselves? Are you gonna be able to manufacture the energy, the execution, the poise? Of course, that's what the coach is for sure. But maybe times where I might get thrown out. I'm not gonna get thrown out though. But it may be times where I might not be here. So, as a young man and as a basketball player and as a whatever, like, are you able to lead yourself? Have you been in enough situations where you can make those decisions? Decision making is important as a man specifically in our world. You know what I mean? One bad decision or one wrong decision or one decision, and it's gonna take you down a path that you may not be able to recover from. So,
Can you speak to us a little bit more about the table? We're in this beautiful building. Yeah. I could already see a little bit of what the identity might be just from walking in the door. Floor mat says "Know the Ledge," pictures of some influential black, everything. The musicians, the activists, the ball players. What do you hope to achieve with this vision?
That's a great question. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm working on it. I think just speaking on it, I think I've done a lot of interacting and rubbing elbows and conversing and speaking with a lot of different people. And I think it's a lot of people that I've come in contact with that are bosses and high level people that we have to do work that may be beneath where we deserve. Like we might have to get an A1 quality shirts, my brother brand, and I might have to, hey bro, can you meet me in Bahama Breeze parking lot so I can get that hoodie? And it's like, for the quality and for the product and for the person, I think that we deserve a space where you can walk in, hey man, it's at the table, go ahead and pick that up. And I think just the level of, I like to say, I talked to, I did an interview on the news, and like I like to call it ghetto luxury. Like it's luxurious, like we deserve luxury, but we also deserve it to be what we are, who we are. We're not gonna dumb it down, we're not gonna water it down, we're not gonna change whatever the message is, but we still deserve luxury. And I think that's part of it. I think the other part of it is, I want to do a great job. Like I said to start the show, I'm a fan. I am a fan. So like I may not be a designer, I may not be make butters or whatever, but I'm a fan of the men and women that do. And how can I help our culture, our people, and your brand? And I think the table is something. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times they have something and people have something, and it's like, how can I contribute to our people business-wise? You know what I mean? How can I help us business-wise and financially, and the table with that opportunity? So not only will I have like a retail space, but it'll be an event space. So if you want to bring it here, have a pop-up shop, have a brand launch, have a birthday, whatever you need to do, it's a space for us that's owned by us. You know what I mean? So I think majority of it is like, my question to everybody is, what do you bring to the table? And then whatever it is that you bring, don't talk me to death, just come on by here. You know what I'm saying? Drop it off, meet me at the table. I think I had a conversation with you guys and y'all was like, oh, okay, really? All right, we're gonna bring our show to the table. And that's why we're here right now. And I think that, that's important. Like, I appreciate you guys for wanting to highlight me and my business and everything that I'm doing. But, you guys brought something really, really dope to the table, and I'm appreciative to be.
If for the people watching, where is the table and how can they get connected?
The table, the address is 432 Hill Street in Raleigh, North Carolina, 27610. That's the south side for those of y'all that don't know. I'm right across the street from the back side of St. Aug. I have an Instagram page, the table_Raleigh. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell everybody. I haven't said this yet, but the grand opening would be January 2nd.
January 2nd, baby. You heard it here first. At the Bro Code Show, but Big Cheese at the table, man. Well, we appreciate and love you too, man. Like, dope recognize dope.
For sure.
And I think it's important. We have a saying called a fist, not a finger, and I really think, to your point, man, it's really important. When you recognize that, there's nothing wrong with bigging up your homie. Like, that's why we're together. That's why the pros are together. We recognize our dopeness and come together. I'm aging myself, but like Voltron, right?
Yeah, okay, let's get it.
And I think that's really important, and to know that you bring that to the table, like literally, like you bring that to the table is dope. There's a floor mat in here too that broke down the word knowledge, and I love that, right? And everything in here is intentional. That's one of the words that we use all the time. Like, you overlooked that, right? It broke it down. Yeah, it's broke down the word knowledge, right? So I think that speaks truth to power, and I'm not a person of coincidence, right? Yeah, absolutely. And I think oftentimes we look over subtleties, we look over the little things. So I love all of the energy, the thought process, and really you answered my question. Like, I wanted to know what does it look like 5 years from now, like what the vision is, and you kind of answered that in not only creating this organic environment, but also having some exclusivity, right, of luxury, right, that we can bring to our culture, because we deserve that. Absolutely. As kings and queens. So I don't want to go back into this soul food thing, man. It was a movie. It also is comforting. Food is comforting, right? It's of our culture. So one, how did the idea, like we call it soul food, but why did you call it soul food? Words matter. And then I want you to get into, how did it come together? Who was a part of it? And then we're going to play this video because we want to celebrate you. And in that particular event, they gave you flowers for doing exactly what you say you do, bring people together and celebrate to show their greatness. But we were missing a space where we wanted to have some black love. Absolutely. So talk to me about that.
First off, the Know the Ledge, that's homage to my big homie. That's I call him my OG, my mom's husband, Clee. So Clee is Know the Ledge. He already know the Ledge. But soul food really came down to in that moment of the George Floyd protest, and I left and I had to get to the drawing board, and I started thinking like, okay, I can see what angers us. I can see what makes us go to this level, but like, what feels good to me? What feels good to us? What feeds our soul? What feeds our soul? And that's where soul food came from. So like the motto of soul food is, what's soul food to you? What does soul food mean to you? So like, of course it can be literally candy yams, macaroni and cheese. It can literally be that, because it does. But also, is that a kid laughing, like the laughter of a kid, you know what I'm saying? Or the sound of double Dutch jump ropes hitting the concrete. And like, I could tell, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that says something to us, you know what I mean? Like, and I wanted to bring that to us, like, as people. And not even as people, when you leave there, I want you to ask that question to yourself. Like, literally when we leave, like, what feels good to us? Because whatever that answer is, we need to do more of it. We need to listen to more of it. We need to speak to more of that. Instead of speaking more so to the things that anger us. Of course, acknowledge those things, of course. But once we get wrapped up in those things, we aren't speaking to the things that feel good to us. We aren't speaking to the things that are peaceful to us and bring us, make us feel fulfilled. So it came from literally asking myself, what feeds my soul? What feels good to me? I can dig it. Food for the soul, man. Sure. I once heard laughter is food for the soul. For real. Yeah, that's a big cheese, man. Right? For real. All strive to eat more. So we're gonna shoot this. We want to show this video. So after this soul food event back in this year, right? 2021, right? Yeah. They did a recap of the event, and in the recap of the event, all of those that were involved over the years, and even those that have created friendships and relationships with you recently, shared their sentiments of love. They gave you your flowers. We're gonna play that video now. When we come back, I'd love to hear and what that meant to you. Sure. And what, a little bit more about how that hit you a little bit different. We'll be right back. For sure.
Poobie Chapman is a leader. Raleigh. Prolific. The mayor of Raleigh. Point guard. Very humble. Leadership. Legendary. For sure. That's the mayor.
A people person.
A renaissance.
Philanthropic. Kind heart.
Generational. Immaculate.
The community leader.
They say he's the mayor. Really, he's an icon. Legendary.
Outgoing.
He's one of a kind.
Supportive. He's inspirational.
Leader.
Visionary.
that guy right now in this city.
He's a leader. He's a leader, man. He's a leader in our community. I'm thankful for him, and I'm pretty sure a lot of us are.
I started to look up to Poobie in 9th grade at Enloe High School. You know what I'm saying? He was playing ball, and I wanted to be just like this man. Now look what he's doing, and he has me out here doing something phenomenal for myself. So what does Poobie mean to me? The word immaculate.
Does a lot for the city, does a lot for anybody. If you know him, you know what I'm talking about.
He made all this happen. He just inspiring the community. He giving back to the community.
This boy he can be the president. He can go talk in Washington, D.C. He can talk to the hood. He's well liked. He's well respected. He's been raised, got a tremendous mom, tremendous father. He's just a quintessential guy, and it's what we need in the community. And honestly, he's probably the only one that could put something like this together. I'm super proud of him. He's the ultimate leader, and I love him, and he continues to amaze me every day.
This show is sponsored by Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza. Make sure to visit your local Papa Murphy's Pizza retail store near you and load up on fresh, made-to-order, gluten-free take and bake pizzas, desserts, and salads. Now make sure to use that mobile app for faster and to earn additional savings.
Programming like this for our young men, we really need to do it. We need to get the word out so people know what is going on and that they will continue to support efforts like this. Yeah, so Barbershop Talk was excellent. This is a great opportunity, I feel, to really connect with our young people and to connect with the community. I was really taken aback by just the depth of conversation from our young men. I think a lot of times we just kind of discount our young people and think that they really don't know what's going on or they don't have a lot to contribute. But our conversation was so in-depth today, and my group had to talk about how they would show empathy towards their parent who might have had a bad day. And the way these young men express themselves and the thoughtfulness and the fact that they really care about their family really moved me in a great way. So I'm really just impressed by what Troy is doing with Young Men for Christ. This is a great organization, a great nonprofit, and I just wish them a lot of luck as they continue with the work. This is so needful, especially in our communities of color, where we see our young men either being victimized or victimizing other people. We've got to really push programs like this that have positive affirmations about who they are, who they're going to be, and how they're going to make a difference in the community. For programming like this for our young men, we really need to do it. We need to get the word out so people know what is going on and that they will continue to support efforts like this.
God threw me the alley-oop. I believe I can fly. Let me mingle with the angels. Heaven's in my peripheral. I see it from my angle.
Raleigh Chief of Police Stella Patterson will be episode 16 on the Bro Code. Tap in.
I'm so proud of him. He's younger than me, but he would call me his OG, but I love what he's doing. I'm always supporting and congratulating and doing and want to be a part of everything that he's doing. And we got to protect Poobie. He's one of those ones we got to protect. I love him, and I love everything he's doing for the community.
What he's able to put together out here is a beautiful thing. It's great for the community. It's great for the city of Raleigh, and we couldn't be more grateful for him. Thank you, Poobie.
I take it from the basketball aspect of it is he's a leader. From when we grew up to playing ball together, everything he did was to do what was best for everybody else. Getting his assists, whether it was storm, whether it was just doing the right thing at the right time, and that's what he's doing right now. Not only for this city, for the world, everything that he's doing is the first. And you always want to be in tune with the first, because those are the ones that's not only willing to take the arrows, but the ones they talk about when the history books are written. And Sir Poobie Chapman, definitely already in the history books. One word to describe Poobie is he's a GOAT.
Grant me the serenity to understand the things I cannot change. Grant me the courage to change the things that I can. And grant me the wisdom to know the difference.
I think that's important to me because those guys are important to me because of what I keep speaking on. Like, I'm a fan. Mm-hmm. So all of those people that spoke, from all of them, like, saying that is important to me. Yeah. Because those are the people that, like, I'm a fan of. So it's like seeing someone that you are a fan of, that you are happy that they're even there. Mm-hmm. And for them to have that, I wasn't standing there. You know what I mean? I think it's important for me. The most important thing is, like, what do you leave behind? You know what I mean? Like, if I wasn't here anymore, that's all the people will hear of me. Yeah. That's what my son will grow up hearing of me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, of course, it may be some other opinions, but for that right there to be standing and for someone else to think to do that, like, that was something that my close friends playing on their own and showed me after the fact, like, yo, I got something for you, knowing that I'm not arrogant person or that I'm not gonna ask anybody, hey, what you think of me? You think I'm cool? You think I'm a leader? You know what I'm saying? But it's like for him to say like, yo, I know I can get something out of this. Like I know, or I feel like people are gonna be candid about how they feel about Poobie or how they feel about me. So I think like looking at it, like we was joking, like I know for sure I'll probably shed a tear for sure. It was a tough tear. It was a tear. You know what I'm saying? It was a tear for sure.
We always say that mantles are made for flowers, not for people, but we all love to have that warm feeling of celebration. Absolutely. You know, and to be admired is something that we should admire, right? Because that means you're making a difference, you're making that impact, and you're leaving that thumbprint that you talk about.
Sure.
Because that resonates with me. We talk about that all the time, and that leads to legacy. So, Poobie, we've talked a lot. You know, we've had some fun, and we appreciate you. But you share on social media. You got a pretty decent, you know, Sir Poobie 32 following. You know, you're very intentional about what you put out there. But we did our research. Okay. Yeah, we did a little research. We did a little studying, and we found 3 pictures that kind of really resonate with some of the words that you've already spoken about as far as being a leader, bigging up others, and really giving your heart towards others. So we're gonna share these pictures with you, and we want to get your raw emotion. They say a picture's worth 1,000 words. Let's get it. So we don't need 1,000. We don't need 1,000.
Also, you can go on my Instagram. You can see my timeline from when I started it. I'm intentional about not hiding anything. So I look crazy in a lot of them early posts. Yeah. The pictures is terrible, but they up there. But they up there.
Disclaimer, y'all. Right? Allow maturity and growth.
Come on now.
To do his due diligence and process.
Cameras have gotten a lot better. You know what I mean? But they up there.
Indeed, man. Tell us about this first one, man.
So that's me and my brother. That's me and my brother Dez Wells. So this is his brand.
Okay. Shout out to Dez.
Yeah, for sure. That's my brother. That picture, if you can, you know, the caption on that picture is the first of a thriving breed. And we playing chess.
Yep.
Chess is a game that, you know, if you have any type of knowledge at all, you know chess is a game that you probably should look into. And we're in the beginning stages of chess. Like I know in the comments, people are like, oh, they just taking that for the picture. I'm not the best chess player. So if you're gonna challenge me, I'm gonna take it on, of course. But I'm not saying I'll win, but I think it speaks because we're in that stage. Like we're trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? We're in that the first of the new breed. The saying is last of a dying breed. You know what I mean? Obviously. But like, I don't feel that we're that. I don't feel that should even be spoken into the universe. I feel like me and my brother and our generation and our friends and our group are the first of a thriving breed. We're thriving right now. I don't even want to speak on us as a dying breed. No, you know what I mean? We're going to be the first of a new thriving breed. You know what I mean? And like, I think it comes in that aspect of like, we playing chess. Not playing it well just yet, but we're playing it. You know what I'm saying? We're playing the game of chess, the game of life. We're playing it and trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? That's my dog. Like, you know, he's a co-owner. So this is not just me, it's me and him. Yeah, we're co-owners. He's in China right now playing basketball. He's probably one of the best basketball players I've seen. I hate that I had to say that on camera because he's definitely going to use that. He's absolutely going to use that against me. But, you know, we're going to see. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he's over in China right now. And he's running his race. You know what I mean? And he once he comes home and we come together, it's an explosion. So, you know, right now he's playing his chess game and I'm playing mine.
Yo, Troy, it's funny you said the game of life because that second picture behind that first one has a picture of Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. And one of my favorite movies, Life, you know, you can't have my cornbread. But I didn't get that connection. I don't know if that's why you suddenly, okay, I see it now.
And that's me and him. Like that picture is really just owed to me and his relationship. It's just, I do not like that dude, but I love him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I met his mom and my mom were friends before me and him were born. So it was a situation where I was thrown, I didn't have a choice but to be cool with this dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to tell the story on camera, but you know, we got a story when we was babies and he bit me. You know what I'm saying? He was being selfish, but whatever. You know
That'll be behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's all behind the scenes. I'll tell that. Stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned. Part 2 on that one.
For sure.
Let's not glance over this overseas thing. So shout out to Dez. He's over in China now, but if I remember correctly, you had the same experience. Tell us about that, man. How did that shape your worldview? And what's probably the dopest place that basketball has taken?
That's a great question too. I think He's in China. I was in China, but I think how it helped me is like I'm a Southside Raleigh kid. Like I grew up right here. I went to the boys club right there. I was literally running up and down this shopping center to the hot dog store. All of this was all of this stuff has been here. I've been here. I didn't go far. I was getting recruited by high major schools and other places, but I went to Durham. You know what I'm saying? And then right after Durham, that means however long we travel with AAU, but for the most part, I'm homebound. I've been here. So getting the opportunity to play professionally overseas was like, what do you mean? I went to you know what I mean? I went to London first, and I think that was the perfect situation for me. Like, it was no language barrier, it wasn't a time difference, food. And then I ended up going to Slovakia for a little while, and it was the total opposite. It was a terrible situation. Like, it was -9 degrees. I was wearing Ugg boots, like women's Ugg boots for comfort and for it to be cold. And I realized why y'all wear them Uggs. They're comfortable now. But and then I ended up in China. I was in China for 2 years. I was in Shanghai. I went to Guangzhou. I was around. And I think how it shaped me is I was able to see so many different things. Like I was able to see how the men treated women in other countries. I was able to see how other cultures treated black people. I was able to see how elders treated young people. And like, I took something from every aspect of like me paying attention and me being aware back home to like, I understood that like, I don't want to speak on their culture, but it's a lot of different cultural differences in so many other places that like you grow up in, like it's ingrained in you that certain things have to be a certain way until you go somewhere else and it's not that way at all. You know what I mean? And like without, TV and TV shows and all of those things, you don't, like you said about it not being real. It's like until you experience it and really are in that situation and you're like, oh wow, like this is genuinely how someone feels about this person, this situation. Like the jobs, nobody's too good to work any job in China. There's so many jobs, they're creating jobs. People painting the bottom of trees on the side of it. So it's like it's different for me. You know what I mean? And it helped me to again try when I came back here. Understand that it didn't have to be this way. That was the main thing. Like traveling abroad and traveling and talking to different people allowed me to come back home and see like, even though Raleigh Boulevard and Martin Luther King have, it's been this way for however long, it doesn't have to be this way. It can change, it can get better. It just somebody has to care enough.
I think that's a great point too. When we talk about world travel all the time, one of my biggest ahas is perspective. Right, seeing things from a different lens, and that's what it hit different for me in that space. But I want to dance on that just a little bit because this second picture right here, when we talk about perspective, it looks like a family picture. But talk to us about it.
That's my brother Tony Hans, his son Zayden, my son Taj, and myself. And the picture literally happened just like that. Like it wasn't it literally happened just like that.
I was wondering, I was like, man, the baby was just timing.
Just like that. And I think like I'm the fun uncle. So like, of course, it's like, let me do something to him. I'm a stern father, you know what I mean? I'm a lot, we still have fun. But it's just like that picture to me is we're young dads still.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And at that point, we're still trying to figure out how to be fathers. We're still trying to figure out how to navigate that world of being black fathers and raising black boys in this world. So I think that picture is like a soul food moment for me where it literally feels great for me. Like looking at it makes me smile. But that was a moment that made sense to me and it was fun. I enjoyed that picture for sure.
That's dope, man. I have a many sayings. One of my, I guess you could say Mr. Y4C sayings is live life in moments, not minutes. And to hear you say that, like that was a moment. Because I wondered, I was like, did he tell the little man to do that? But it's raw and its authenticity, man. Right before the picture was thick, he just did that. Did you have some candy in your mouth or something?
Nothing in my mouth. Why would he
That's all right, man. I love the innocence of that.
Absolutely. Literally, it's like
it's food for the soul, bro. I can dig that, man. So this last one, man, we talk about food for the soul. You used this word earlier, mentors. And those that have made an impact in your life. Earlier in this conversation, you talked about Pops, you talked about your grandfather, you talked about the Boys and Girls Club. But talk about this picture, man. That big cheese was definitely in the building, so it looked like you were joyous.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that.
purposely didn't talk about that picture off camera because you said you didn't know what that picture was. What do you think that picture is?
You've won something.
I know.
Like some type of
2014. I already know. First time.
That's when we beat NC State.
Now you didn't have to bring that up.
You get this. He said, "You get this." You remember that? I know. I'm like, how do you lose the Central, man? That's funny.
That statement is actually where that smile came from. That statement is really where that moment came from.
Wow.
Because, man, it's a long backstory. TJ Warren that's like my cousin.
Shout out to TJ Warren.
TJ,
need you on the Bro Code
Show. Get you. Yeah, you're gonna be up here, bro. And, ooh, man, remember this moment. I'm gonna talk about this one right here later on.
Okay.
But TJ was my good friend. We were playing them, and I owed him for something. Like I owed him for something. Like I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get you for that. You know what I mean? And when I seen State pop up on our thing, I'm like, ooh. Aside from like I wanted to play for the State. You know what I mean? I was in ninth grade. The first time that I experienced State beating Carolina. I was in the game, rushed the court and everything.
We don't be.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I was there, and I was a part of it. Like they were recruiting my friend Melvin, and we was at the game, and like we rushed the court, and like we was running the street. Like so, I had like, of course I'm from Raleigh, so I had ties to State. So I wanted to go, and they ended up offering another point guard, and I just was like, I'm gonna get you out. You know what I'm saying? So that was another moment to play in my hometown against the team that I wanted to play against one of my good friends. You know what I mean? And we practiced, like I knew that we were going to beat NC State. Like that's not something I just say. I knew it because we had what it took. You know, it was a pretty up and down year for them guys that year, and I knew how much we prepared for it. So like when we beat them on the court, it wasn't like we're not celebrating, we're not throwing the ball in the air, we're not doing any of that. But as soon as we got off the court, it's like, yo, we did it. We got that. And I always wanted one of those moments right there with one of my bigs where like I enjoyed that. Like, yo, you my big man. I talk to you crazy than I talk to anybody, but you my protector, my dog. Like, so it's like a jump on his back. And I think Lavelle is the best coach I ever seen in my life. Bar none. And I think that was a moment for him that I'm like, yes, exhale. Like exhale, just for now, because like you did this. This is something that nobody thought we would do. Right. We walked in the stadium and like the event workers didn't even look up at us. Like, I'm like, yo, where the locker room at? They like, right there. You know what I mean?
No respect.
Yeah. Everybody in the stands when the game getting close, they like, yo, Central?
I can only imagine. Yeah, I really.
It is so many pictures and videos
like,
of me smiling. Yes, Central. Like, yes. Yes. I probably heard him.
It came back cold, a freshman.
But it was just one of those moments where like we kind of wanted to be business about it. Like we won, all right, cool, hand the ball to the ref,
shake
hands.
Do, right?
Yeah, we ain't no surprise. But as soon as we got out of that eye of like everybody, let's go. Yeah, so that's what that picture is.
I'm curious. You touched on it, man, but you used the word big homie. We use the word OG, right? We use the word mentor, or someone that really speaks life into us that leaves lasting memories. Tell us more about being under that coaching system of Central and Lavelle and how that's impacted your life, even to the point now with you coaching the young men at Enloe.
Man, now that I look at it and I'm a coach and I'm a mentor and I'm all of that, I don't even think he coached me as a basketball player at all. At all. Now that I'm out of it and I see it, like he was coaching me to be a man the whole entire time. No matter how much, like we butt heads from day one to day whatever, literally about everything. And I can see like, as a man and as a young man, like I get it. It makes sense. So like he's been around me my entire life. My father, who played basketball here, helped him and, been around him. And I seen him when he was in his heyday of scoring 50. And, I went to every single camp he had. So he's been a part of my life as a mentor since before all of that. He helped me with my recruiting. And he wasn't guiding me and making me go to Central. It just so happened that that's the way it played out. You know what I mean? So like me playing for him was literally the most growth and maturity that I've experienced, that I've been around.
Yeah, Drake wrote a song about that. It's called God's Plan. So, nonetheless, man, we've talked about a lot, man. For those who are just checking in, we're talking with Emmanuel Poobie Chapman III, straight government right here. 27610, stand up. Raleigh, North Carolina is definitely in the house, man. We've talked about a lot, bro, but we got a segment called Flip the Script. Now, we've asked you a whole lot of questions, but now it's your turn to ask the guest anything, or ask the host, anything that you like.
That's crazy, because again, I told you, like, I wanted this to be all organic, and this is the way I want each one of you guys to answer if you want to. But like, of course, we aren't that far away in terms of age and in terms of journeys. But I think, what do you feel like is the biggest disconnect between the generations? Maybe the 40 to 30 to 20 generation, or what do you guys think is the biggest disconnect? And the follow up, or you guys can touch on each part. How can we work to change that or bridge that?
I'll go, because you may mention the word disconnect, and I'll automatically go to the phone. I didn't get a phone until I was 14, and at that it was, a rather large phone, and it, gradually got real small. But I think that's the biggest difference. This generation now, the young kids, they are so attached to their phone. There was a day not too long ago, matter of fact, it was on my birthday, as a matter of fact, that Instagram, Facebook, and everything went down. And, I'll never forget the day, because I'm like, man, ain't nobody saying nothing. I'm not getting any happy birthday. It's like, no love. Like, man. Like, okay, all right, let me just turn the phone off. And so I didn't even realize it was truly down, like, for the whole day. But for a lot of folks, that was a day where they walked outside and called each other and talked in person for the first time in a while. And I look at that as the biggest disconnect. My father, they didn't have cell phones, so they're so tight with the family. Like, they go to each other's houses and really connect personally, And so that's the biggest disconnect for me, is just saying hello in person versus, a DM, a post to really change how they live their life. So,
I think to piggyback on the cell phones, when I'm mentoring students, they actually have more access than any of us ever had. So it can't be like, just go do this, because they have too much information now. So I tell adults all the time, this is a time where it's not preaching to them, but more listening to them. Right? So one thing as a mentor, in general, I don't ever tell anybody what to do. Like, Poobie, what do you want to do? And then we circle back to that. But I see a lot of adults struggling with wanting to give them how to do it. Right. And this generation is different. So it's more about just listening and connecting with them on that level. And they respect that, because they don't get it. So,
just to add to all of that, right? Consistency. Right? I talk to the solution part, or the progressive change. Consistency is key. A lot of these kids are used to people walking out of their lives, and they're always going to be a wall, because I have walls, right? So we got to knock down the walls first, and the way to do that is to show up. We talked about that earlier. The first thing they do is show up. Now, once you show up, same thing Vail did for you, regardless of the butt heads part, right? Regardless of us not seeing eye to eye. I can trust you.
Absolutely.
And once the trust is built, man, some of these seeds that you may not be able to do right offhand, I can really put my arm around you and squeeze a little bit, and they know that's in love. It's like, man, I feel comforted.
Absolutely.
Being around you, and that comes through consistency, man. So remember, this is only going to get greater.
Yeah.
Right. It's going to build a new HOV lane every month.
Right.
The communication is just going to continue to get wider. The key is everything on here is not true, so we have to help them navigate it. Like, it's our job. Like, I gotta help. I need to be the sail on your ship, because
the next generation is not just gonna be on the internet; they're gonna be on the metaverse. They're gonna be connected virtually. They'll be having conversations with each other through holograms by the time they, So it's a different level.
And I believe communication, right? We really do have to tap in, because if we don't, I think we were talking about it. There's new science as far as muscles in your neck that are strained because we walk around like this all day. So yeah, I think the difference is in our age and generation is that we know a world without it. So I can appreciate it more. Because I use it, don't get me wrong now. I'm not here to bad mouth. I need it. Because I need to stay organized. Right. And I like the fact that I can speak into something and it gives me information. But I understand how to process that. It doesn't influence me. I process it and I filter it. Chew the meat, spit out the bone. A 12-year-old hasn't lived long enough to be equipped with that. That's why we're important. That's why we're black unicorns. So we matter. We talked about a lot, man, and I appreciate that. I don't want any other questions that you know. We don't want to take that moment now.
That was crazy. Y'all killed it.
Hey, man, we definitely appreciate you. We appreciate you. You know, here at Southside 27610, man. We admire you, but we wanted to do something special for you. Again, giving those flowers, right? I think they taught, the song is called what? Gold Roses? Yeah, I like that one too. So Maybach music. We need you on here. Boss. We need you on the Bro Code Show. But nonetheless, before the show, we talked about words mattering, and I asked you, give me one word to describe yourself. And you told me the word ambiguous, if I'm not mistaken. Was that the word? Ambiguous. Ubiquitous.
Ubiquitous. You know he'll mess up. You know he'll mess up.
Tell me about the word. Why is that important to you? Like you picked one, I can't.
And like that wasn't a flex to be like, hey, I know this.
I'm telling you, you read the dictionary.
It really is, and I have a thing where each month I try to incorporate a word that speaks to me, and I try to incorporate it. And like this one hit me, and like it started coming up as a lot of things happen. Like oh, I like that car. Then you start seeing that car everywhere.
You know what I thought about, Poobie? You know when you go to the Shell station and talks to you, they give you the word of the week. When you text that to me, I can imagine myself pumping gas, and this pumps up on the screen like a word just out of the blue. But go ahead, man. Go ahead.
So ubiquitous is pretty much it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Like it's something that that is constant. It's something that it could be everywhere at the same time. So like something like if you're in LA, the Lakers is ubiquitous. Like almost being a Lakers fan is ubiquitous. Like you from LA, I know it. Or you hear music and it's like, oh, this is that. And I think like for me, like I want my identity, my character, what I stand for to be that. Like there's been plenty of times like people are like, you from Raleigh? Oh, you know Poobie? And I enjoy that because it's like not only selfish, I want everybody to know me, but I think like, representation matters.
Absolutely.
So like if I'm the face or if I'm the representation of Raleigh and like I can control that, I think that's important. You know what I mean? I think that so far that's been kind of the constant of like Raleigh. It's like, yo, do you know Poobie? Oh, Poobie's doing this business-wise, you know? And I think that's I heard that and I'm like, that's a positive word. And I appreciate that someone would say something like that about me. You know what I mean? So like when you said that, you know, without trying to be cheesy, like hopeful and all, not saying that that's a bad word, but like that was the one that spoke to me the most. To be honest,
you are what you say you are.
Yeah, for sure.
Before I forget this, I don't want to skim over this, and we get to wrapping this conversation up, and also making sure that we have a gift for you, just to say thank you, and understanding that you matter. We have a segment called "Calling Them Out." Now, in this segment, Poobie, did you have a good time on the Bro Code Show?
I had a great time.
For sure. If you could call anyone out right now on the Bro Code Show to come on the Bro Code Show, this is your opportunity to look at that camera right there and let them know that they need to come right here on the Bro Code Show.
I'm calling out Poetry in Moulton. My OG, my big brother, my uncle, my coach, everything. I'm calling out Lavelle Moulton. I want you to. I think it's a great idea. It's an opportunity that makes sense. I think you need to be up here for sure. I'm calling you out, OG.
My man, Lavelle, we look forward to having you on the Bro Code Show. Well, hey, man, we're about to wrap this thing up, man, but we have a gift for you, man. And what you got, bro, Kurt?
Yeah, so my brand is called You Matter. And it's something I use to just encourage kids, man. And it's really, it's working, right? I got this thing I'm doing where I'm giving them all $2 bills. Just in like pay it forward type random acts of kindness moments, man. And it's sticking with some of the young fellas especially. So we didn't want to not come into your space and give you one. It says You Matter. Your name's on the front, Poobie. On the back, we put your word. I'm not repeating it. What is it?
I don't know.
Ubiquitous.
There you go, that one, right? That one, right?
But we use a $2 bill, man, because it's rare. You don't get them every day, man. And we really believe you're rare in the community. We're proud of you, and just keep doing what you're doing, man. So.
Thank you.
Half of the bro
Appreciate
code, man.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
Indeed, man. Big homie. So, salute to Emmanuel Poobie Chapman III. We appreciate you sitting here at the table. So please check this business out and continue to support him and all the great things that he's doing right here in Southeast Raleigh. 27610 stand up. You gotta open up so I can read the quote. Yeah, I messed it up.
It's all good. It's all good.
So as always, we always want to leave you with something positive, and tonight is no different. Now, we talked about basketball, so this quote right here comes from a basketball great, right here in the Chapel Hill area, I guess you could say, to North Carolina, known as to many as the GOAT, Mr. Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Says some people want to make it, some people want it to happen, some wish it would happen, others just make it happen. It's your boy, bro, Troy, aka Mr. Y4C, and we are Bro Code.
Drugs that were stashed in the bathroom. Not only that, but it's court date approaching us fast too. So tell me what to do. Lord, you only seek the truth. If you want to bear fruit, then it needs to abide in you. If you seek transformation, it happens in solitude. Since I never had a shot, God threw me the alley-oop. I believe I can fly. Let me mingle with the angels. Heaven's in my peripheral. I see it from an angle.
Tune in next week as we'll have Supermom, philanthropist, district court judge, Ashley Parker Dunstan. Tune in to the Bro Code.
I believe I can fly. Let me mingle with the angels. Heaven's in my peripheral. I see it from an angle.